Have you ever wondered how a queen from an ancient civilization continues to captivate the world today? Today, we dive into the life of the enigmatic Queen Cleopatra. Our journey begins over 2,000 years ago, back in 69 BC, with the birth of a girl in Alexandria, Egypt. This girl was none other than Cleopatra, born into the Ptolemaic dynasty, a family with Greek origins that ruled Egypt after the death of Alexander the Great. Her father was Ptolemy IV, a ruler known for his weak leadership and political instability that marked Cleopatra's early life. Cleopatra was not just a princess born with a silver spoon, she was a survivor, a learner, who grew up in a palace rife with intrigue and power struggles. Her early years were not filled with the luxury one might associate with royalty, but with lessons in survival. She was thrust into a world of political chaos, where alliances were as brittle as papyrus and loyalty was as shifting as the desert sands. Her father's reign was fraught with political turbulence and civil unrest. His controversial decisions led to economic decline and increased dissatisfaction among his subjects. Amidst this tumultuous backdrop, young Cleopatra was learning, observing, and preparing for the role she was destined to play. She was a keen observer of her father's rule, absorbing the complexities of power and the delicate dance of diplomacy. Cleopatra's early life was not only shaped by the political instability of her father's reign, but also by the rich tapestry of Egyptian culture that surrounded her. She was the first in her dynasty to learn the Egyptian language, embracing the customs and traditions of her people. This connection with her subjects would later play a crucial role in her reign, setting her apart from her predecessors and forging a unique bond with the people she ruled. Our journey to understand Cleopatra is just beginning. As we peel back the layers of her story, we see a woman of complexity, strength, and intelligence. A woman who would rise from the tumultuous beginnings to become one of the most influential and intriguing rulers of ancient Egypt. Cleopatra's early life set the stage for her to become one of the most influential and intriguing rulers of ancient Egypt. In a world dominated by men, Cleopatra's ascension to the throne was nothing short of extraordinary. Picture this: an 18-year-old Cleopatra stepping into the shoes of her late father, Pharaoh Ptolemy XII, to rule one of the most powerful kingdoms of the ancient world, Egypt. A daunting task indeed, even for the most seasoned of rulers, let alone a young woman in an era where men held the reins of power. Cleopatra's ascension, however, was not a solo affair. In keeping with the Ptolemaic tradition of sibling marriage, she was married to her younger brother, Ptolemy XIII, who was only 10 at the time. Together, they were to rule Egypt, but in reality, the young Cleopatra held the true power. Yet being a woman in a position of such authority was fraught with challenges. Cleopatra was a woman of intelligence and charisma, but she was also a woman in a man's world. Every move she made, every decision she took, was scrutinized, criticized, and often met with resistance. She was, after all, an anomaly, a female pharaoh in a lineage of male rulers. Despite the odds stacked against her, Cleopatra proved herself to be a formidable leader. She was a linguist, speaking as many as 9 languages, and was known for her political savvy. She was a woman who knew how to wield power and was unafraid to use it to her advantage. Yet, even as she navigated the turbulent waters of leadership, Cleopatra was constantly embroiled in power struggles, not just with her advisors and the Egyptian nobility, but also with her own brother. These struggles would eventually lead to her brief exile, marking a pivotal point in her rule. Cleopatra's reign was anything but smooth, as her controversial ascension to power marked only the beginning of her turbulent rule. An 18-year-old woman, a queen, a pharaoh, Cleopatra was a force to be reckoned with, and her story is one of power, resilience, and survival against all odds. Cleopatra's reign was marked by her strategic alliances and infamous relationships. But who were these influential figures? Our first stop on this journey through Cleopatra's reign is her relationship with Julius Caesar. The Roman general and statesman, who was already a prominent figure in the Roman Republic, found in Cleopatra a partner of equal intellect and ambition. Their relationship was not just romantic, but also politically advantageous for both parties. Cleopatra needed Rome's military might to solidify her position as pharaoh, while Caesar found in Egypt a rich and powerful ally. Their union produced a son, Caesarion, who Cleopatra claimed was Caesar's heir. This relationship with Caesar, however, was cut short by his tragic assassination in the Roman Senate. Next, we turn our attention to Mark Antony, another Roman general and statesman. Antony was co-ruler of the Roman Republic alongside Octavian, later known as Augustus, following Caesar's death. Antony and Cleopatra's relationship is perhaps one of the most famous love stories in history. Antony, captivated by Cleopatra's charm and wit, aligned himself with her, politically and romantically. This alliance was a double-edged sword. On the one hand, it gave Cleopatra significant influence over the Roman Republic. On the other, it created a rift between Antony and Octavian, leading to a civil war. This war would end with the Battle of Actium. Antony and Cleopatra's forces were defeated, and the couple fled to Egypt. In the aftermath, Rome annexed Egypt, marking the end of the Ptolemaic kingdom and the beginning of Egypt as a Roman province. So, these relationships were more than just affairs of the heart. They were strategic alliances that shaped the course of history. Cleopatra skillfully navigated the turbulent political waters of her time, using her relationships to bolster her power and protect her kingdom. Cleopatra's alliances not only marked significant turning points in her reign, but also in the history of the Roman Empire. Every reign has an end, and Cleopatra's was as dramatic as her life. The fall of Cleopatra is a narrative filled with political intrigue, dramatic twists, and heartbreaking loss. The beginning of her downfall can be traced back to the death of her lover and political ally, Mark Antony. Antony, a formidable Roman general, was Cleopatra's bulwark against the growing power of Octavian, the future first emperor of Rome. With Antony by her side, Cleopatra was able to maintain a semblance of power and influence over Egypt and its affairs. However, the tides of fate turned against them when Antony was defeated by Octavian at the Battle of Actium. This crushing loss led Antony to take his own life, leaving Cleopatra vulnerable to Octavian's machinations. With the death of Antony, Cleopatra lost her protection against Rome, and her position as Queen of Egypt became increasingly precarious. Octavian, who later became known as Augustus, was a cunning and ruthless leader. He saw Cleopatra as a threat to his power and desired to parade her in Rome as a trophy of his victory. Cleopatra, ever the queen, refused to be humiliated and instead chose to meet her end on her own terms. The circumstances surrounding Cleopatra's death remain shrouded in mystery and speculation. The most widely accepted theory is that she committed suicide by allowing an asp, a venomous snake, to bite her. This dramatic end was fitting for a queen known for her intelligence, charm, and political savvy. However, other theories suggest that she may have been murdered or that she used a poison-tipped hairpin to end her life. Despite the mystery, one thing is certain. Cleopatra's death marked the end of the Ptolemaic dynasty and the start of Roman rule in Egypt. Cleopatra's fall from power and her mysterious death only added to the enigma of her life and legacy. Cleopatra, a name etched in history, but what is her legacy? Cleopatra's legacy is as multifaceted as the queen herself. It is a tapestry woven from threads of power, allure, intelligence, and controversy. Her influence is far-reaching, transcending time and culture, and continues to resonate today. As one of the earliest female leaders in history, Cleopatra left a profound impact on the perception of women in positions of power. She demonstrated that women could rule with as much tenacity, skill, and strategic acumen as their male counterparts. Her reign, although fraught with challenges, was marked by significant political and economic achievements. Her influence was instrumental in shaping the role of future female leaders, paving the way for queens and empresses who dared to wield power in a male-dominated world. The fascination with Cleopatra's life extends beyond the realm of history. She has become a prominent figure in popular culture, immortalized in literature, art, and cinema. From Shakespeare's tragic heroine in Antony and Cleopatra, to her portrayal in Hollywood blockbusters, Cleopatra's image has been continually recreated and reinterpreted. She embodies an enigma, a blend of seductive beauty and sharp intellect, a woman who could both beguile and command. But perhaps the most enduring aspect of Cleopatra's legacy is the ongoing fascination with her life. Even after more than 2,000 years, her story continues to captivate. Scholars pore over ancient texts, archaeologists search for clues in the sands of Egypt, and historians debate the details of her life and reign. The allure of Cleopatra, the woman, the queen, the legend, remains undiminished. From a young queen navigating through a world of power and intrigue to becoming a symbol of female empowerment, Cleopatra's story continues to captivate the world. Her legacy is as enigmatic as her life.